Hello everyone, and welcome to this new video. As you may or may not know, Mordekaiser has a ton of ultimate interactions with a ton of different champions. And there's a lot of them. Some seem buggy, some are quite unique. It's all over the place. And I thought to myself that it would be nice if I tested every single ability interaction. Every single one. And then showcase it to you guys. This video took me forever to make, to both edit and to actually get the footage for it. I had to go through so many practice tool games and try so many different ability combos and combinations and ability interactions. It's kind of ridiculous. I made only one exception when I decided to record the ability interactions. Whenever Mordekaiser ults and there is a skill shot in the middle of the ulti animation, it never follows into the death realm, unless there's a specific exception. I didn't showcase the skill shots. For example, Ashe arrow is a skill shot, and you can obviously use your Mordekaiser ultimate to ult someone and dodge out the Ashe ulti. Same with ranged auto attacks. If the Ashe auto attacks you, you can ulti in the middle of it and dodge out the damage. Morgana Q is a skill shot, and you can just ulti someone while the skill shot is flying and dodge it. And that's the case for basically every single skill shot in the entire game. So those are the only abilities that I did not showcase, because then it would genuinely take forever to show absolutely everything. And those are just quote-unquote dodged by default, in the sense that you can always dodge them if you ult someone in the middle of the skill shot flying out. But other than that, I showcased absolutely everything. Every single champion has a timestamp that you can skip to and see what abilities it has that have a unique interaction. I even placed the champions that have no ability interactions with Mordekaiser ultimate, such as Darius or Garen. And there are some champions that I listed as having no unique ability interactions with Mordekaiser ultimate, such as Lucian, even though technically you can use your ultimate in the middle of the Lucian W animation to dodge out that damage. But the reason I didn't showcase it is because, again, it's just classified as a skill shot. If I actually didn't show absolutely everything that wasn't just a skill shot, please forgive me. I might have just overlooked certain abilities and I skipped past them. And if I did that, I'm sorry. It might have happened a few times, and you can ask about them in the comment section and then I'll tell you how the interaction is supposed to go. There was a lot of stuff to test, so I really am sorry if I missed a few. But with all that being said, here's a showcase of every single unique ability interaction that Mordekaiser ultimate has. Someone please save me. Aatrox W will get cancelled and removed from Mordekaiser if it's on him if he ults afterwards. The second part of Ahri's Q will not follow Mordekaiser into the realm. If Akali marks a target and you ult her, she won't be able to reactivate it. Her shroud will also disappear if she uses it first and then you ult her. Akshan's boomerang will not return to him if Mordekaiser ults him. His hook will still go off and he's able to swing from it even if he's ulted during the actual hook animation. His ultimate will also get cancelled if Mordekaiser is ulting him while he's targeting another one of Mordekaiser's allies. Alistar ultimate cannot escape Mordekaiser ultimate. It used to be able to, but it no longer does that. If timed properly, Ambessa ultimate will cancel Mordekaiser ultimate. Amumu's bandage toss is quite unique because even if Mordekaiser ults him as the bandage is flying out, he will still stun the target that he hits the bandage on and he will be pulled towards it. Anivia's wall will not follow her into the realm if she uses it on Summoner's Rift. Her Q will also not follow into the realm if she uses it first. And her ultimate has a pretty unique interaction. It won't actually follow into the realm, but it won't stop on the outside. You can see here that even though Anivia lost her ultimate in the realm, it is still present outside of it, still dealing damage to this target dummy. Annie Tibbers will not follow her into the realm. Aphelios turret will not be taken into the realm if he uses it first on Summoner's Rift. Ashe Hawkshot will not follow Mordekaiser into the realm and she will lose the vision from the ability when she enters it if, for example, Mordekaiser is standing in a brush. Aurelion Sol's E-Zone will not follow into the realm. Mordekaiser cannot ult Aurora in the middle of the ulti animation because it is going to get completely denied. However, if he waits for her ultimate to complete and then he ults her, the circle that Aurora creates will not follow her into the realm. Azir's soldiers will not follow him into the realm, and his ultimate wall will also not follow him into the realm if they're used first on Summoner's Rift. Bard's Portal will not follow into the realm if used first on Summoner's Rift. It will also not follow if the ultimate ends and Bard places a portal in the realm. Bel'Veth's coral interaction is kind of unique. If there's a coral on the ground and Mordekaiser ults, Bel'Veth won't be able to pick it up. It'll still be there after the ulti ends, but while she's in the realm, she can't pick it up. Mordekaiser can also ulti her right as she's picking up the coral, and if that happens, she won't deal damage to anyone around her, either on Summoner's Rift or inside the realm, and she will also lose the coral entirely and not get her 1-minute form. If you ultimate Blitzcrank as he throws out his hook, it could still actually connect to the target and pull it to him. Brand's W zone will not follow Mordekaiser into the Death Realm. You can actually use your ultimate on Braum while he's in the middle of his animation, and his entire ulti will be taken to the realm. If he uses his ultimate first, and then you ult, even though the zone visually disappears, if you walk over where it's actually supposed to be at, you will still get the slow. If Mordekaiser tries to ult Briar while she's in any part of her ulti animation, it will get cancelled. Caitlyn traps will not follow into the realm. Camille's hookshot will still go off and latch to a wall even if Mordekaiser ults her mid-hookshot animation. Her ultimate can also be used to dodge out the Mordekaiser ult. It won't place it on cooldown, but at least she won't be taken to the realm. Cassiopeia W zone will not actually follow into the realm. Cho'Gath's Q zone will not follow into the realm. Corki's W trail will not follow into the realm. Darius has no unique ability interactions with Mordekaiser ultimate. You can use Mordekaiser ultimate to deny a big AoE from Diana ultimate. While Dr. Mundo's passive on, he actually won't be able to be taken into the realm. If you manage to knock down his passive and then ulti him, he can actually still pick up the canister even in the realm. Draven's axes will actually disappear if they are mid-air when you use your ultimate. He will just straight up not be able to catch them. Ekko's Timewinder will not follow him into the Death Realm, but his W is deceptive. He uses it first and then I ulti him, and he can still activate the stun and get the shield. He can also use his ultimate to dodge out the Mord ultimate. It won't place the Mordekaiser ultimate on cooldown, but at least Ekko won't be taken into the realm himself. Human Elise W will not follow into the realm, and her Spiderlings will also not follow into the Death Realm. She can also use her Spider E to dodge the Mordekaiser ultimate. It won't place the Mord ult on cooldown, but at least she won't be taken into the realm. Evelynn can use her ultimate to dodge out Mordekaiser ult. This won't make the ability go on cooldown, but at least she won't be taken to the realm. Ezreal's ultimate animation is quite slow, so you can ulti him in the middle of the actual animation and take his ultimate in the realm entirely. Fiddlestick's drain will get cancelled if Mordekaiser ults him, and he's not part of the targets that he's draining currently. If you try to ult the Fiddlestick's effigy, your ulti will go on cooldown. You can also use your ultimate on Fiddlesticks after he ults, and he will only deal damage to the person in the realm. Fiora can parry Mordekaiser ultimate and it gets completely denied. Her ultimate is also affected by Mordekaiser ult. If she gets all vitals off and then Mordekaiser ults her, it won't be transported into the realm. And if she gets all the vitals into the realm and then Mordekaiser's ult expires, she's not going to get the heal back on Summoner's Rift. His ultimate will still remain onto you even after you ult someone. But if the ultimate is laying on the ground and you use your own ultimate, you can walk over to that area and nothing will happen. Fizz can also use his E to dodge out your ult. It won't place your ulti on cooldown, but he won't be taken into the realm. Even though visually Galio's Q does not actually follow into the Death Realm, you will still take damage from it if you're sitting on top of where it's supposed to be on Summoner's Rift. And if he uses his ultimate on an ally before you ult him, he won't go all the way to the ally, and instead will go to the maximum range of the Death Realm. Gangplank barrels and his ultimate will not follow into the realm if they are placed first. His W will also not cleanse him out of your ulti. It used to do that, but it no longer does this. Garen has no unique ability interaction with Mordekaiser ultimate. Even though visually the Mega Gnar Q boulder does not follow into the realm if it's tossed first before Mordekaiser ults, Gnar can actually walk over to where the boulder is standing and he can pick it up. This isn't the case for Mini Gnar. If Mini Gnar throws out his boomerang and then Mordekaiser ults, there's no way he can actually catch it back. Gragas Q barrel will not follow into the realm if it is tossed first. If Graves uses his Q first and then Mordekaiser ults, the second part won't deal damage to Mordekaiser. Graves' smokescreen will also not follow into the realm. Gwen can actually use her W to stop the Mordekaiser ultimate if Mordekaiser is outside of her W range. It won't place his ultimate on cooldown, but she won't get taken into the realm. And if Mordekaiser is actually standing in the Gwen W range, he can use his ultimate and her W will be completely destroyed. Mordekaiser cannot use his ultimate on Hecarim if Hecarim is in the middle of his ulti animation. He has to wait for it to end and then he can ult. Heimerdinger's small turrets as well as his big turret will not follow into the realm. Wei's Q E zone will not follow into the realm. Same goes for his WW and his EW. If Alawi pulls the Mordekaiser spirit out first, and then Mordekaiser ult, it will completely disappear out of the map. It won't even remain on Summoner's Rift. Alawi tentacles will also not follow her into the realm. Alawi ultimate can also cancel out the Mordekaiser ultimate if timed properly. If Aurelia starts using her E from outside the realm, and then tries to reactivate it inside the realm, it simply doesn't go off. Her ultimate zone will also not be taken inside the realm, and Mordekaiser can use his ult to dodge out the Aurelia ult. Ivern's brushes have quite a unique interaction. If they are placed first and then Mordekaiser uses his ultimate on them, and then walks over to where the brushes would normally be at, it gets kind of a see-through effect. You're not actually hidden, but this is a very weird effect visually. Ivern can also dash to the target he roots with his Q, even if he's ultied in the Death Realm. If he roots someone first, and then Mordekaiser ults him, he can actually still dash to the rooted target inside the Death Realm. And Daisy will not follow Mordekaiser into the Death Realm, if placed first. If Janna starts using her tornado from outside the realm, it won't be taken inside of the realm. Jarvan flag will not follow into the Death Realm. If Jarvan traps you with his ultimate, you can actually ult someone and the walls won't matter to you. They simply disappear in the realm. Jarvan can also use his ultimate, and during the leap animation, he is immune to your ultimate. Jax has no unique ability interactions with Mordekaiser ultimate. Jace acceleration gate will not actually enter the Death Realm if used outside of it first. Jhin traps will not be followed in the realm, and you can also ulti when they go off to dodge it. You can also ult him when he's in his ult, and he won't be able to hit anyone with it outside of the realm. Jinx traps will not follow her into the Death Realm. K'Sante can use his regular W, as well as his all-out W, and even his actual ultimate to completely cancel out Mordekaiser's ult. All three stop it. Kai'Sa will not be able to dash with her ultimate on a marked target that is outside of her Death Realm if she is within it. Kallista's W Sentinel will not follow her into the Death Realm. If Mordekaiser ults Kallista, she won't be able to use her ultimate even if she's in range of an ally nearby that is linked to her. But if she uses her ultimate first, and then Mordekaiser ults her, her ally won't follow her, but her ulti will actually happen outside of it, and the ally can choose where to land. Karma Tether will be broken if Mordekaiser ults her and she's linked to another one of Mordekaiser's allies. Her R plus Q zone will also not follow into the Death Realm if used first. I did a few tests with Karthus ultimate. It doesn't matter when you ult or when Karthus ults, he will always damage absolutely everyone on the map. If you ult first and then Karthus ults, he will damage you. If Karthus ults first and then you ult, he will still damage you. Even if you ult someone else that isn't him, he will still damage you. Kassadin has no unique ability interactions with Mordekaiser ultimate. Katarina's daggers will not follow inside the realm. You can use Mordekaiser ultimate to deny the AoE damage from Kayle ultimate. If Kayn uses his ultimate on you and you ult someone else, he will instantly snap out of your body and you won't take any damage from his ult. Kennen will not be able to press his W on a marked target that is outside of the Death Realm when he gets taken. You can also use your ultimate to deny the Kennen AoE on your team. Kha'Zix has no unique ability interaction with Mordekaiser ultimate. Kindred's W zone will go out when Mordekaiser uses his ultimate. Kindred ulti will also not follow Mordekaiser in his ult, so what you can do is get people really low, Kindred will then use her ulti to save them, and then you can ult one of her allies out of it and instantly kill them. Flip cannot be ultied by Mordekaiser during his ultimate charge. Mord has to wait for it to complete and then he can ult. Even if Kog'Maw uses the E outside of the realm, you will still get slowed by it once you enter it. If you try to ult the LeBlanc clone, nothing will happen and your ulti will just go on cooldown. LeBlanc's chain will also stop its tether effect once she gets into your ultimate if she has it linked to another one of your allies. Lee Sin will not be able to recast either his Q or his E on a target that he has marked with the first part if he is in the Death Realm. You can use Mordekaiser ultimate to dodge out of the way of the Leona ultimate before it comes down to hit you. And if you use your ultimate on Leona while she's in the middle of her E animation, the actual spell will still go off and she will even go to the target that the E hit that would be outside of the Death Realm. Lilia won't be able to use her sleep on a marked target that is outside of the Death Realm when she's inside of it. And you can even use your own ultimate to dodge out of the way of the Lilia ultimate. If you ult someone else in the middle of the Lilia ult animation, she won't actually get the sleep off on you at all. Even though visually Lyssandra's E does not follow into the Death Realm, she can actually still recast the ability and go to where it would be on Summoner's Rift. Lucian has no unique ability interactions with Mordekaiser ultimate. If Lulu places picks onto you and you ult someone else from her team, picks will actually disappear and return to her. But if she places picks on an ally and then you ult that ally, it actually won't return and will stay there until the realm is over or the pick's duration expires. It won't enter the death realm, but it will stay exactly where the ally of Lulu is. If Lux uses her W and then Mordekaiser ults her, the shield return will not happen onto her. Her E will also not follow into the death realm at all. Malphite's ultimate will actually cancel out Mordekaiser's ult if Mord ulties him during the dash. Mordekaiser's ultimate will be completely nullified if Malzahar has his passive on before he ults him. Malzahar's voidlings will also not follow into the realm, and Mordekaiser can ult Malzahar to snap one of his allies out of the suppression. Maokai saplings will not follow into the death realm. Same goes for Maokai ultimate. Maokai can also use his W to dodge the Mordekaiser ultimate. It won't place it on cooldown, but he won't be taken into the realm. Master Yi can use his Q to dodge out the Mordekaiser ultimate, but it won't make it go on cooldown. Mel's ultimate can be dodged in a very unique way with Mordekaiser ult. If Mel is in the middle of her ultimate animation, and then Mordekaiser ults another enemy, he won't take any damage from the Mel ultimate. This can also be done to allies. If Mel is trying to ulti one of Mordekaiser's allies, he can use his ultimate on Mel and then the ally won't die. And Mel Reflect does nothing to Mordekaiser ult at all. Milio's W will not follow him into the death realm. His ultimate also cannot be used to escape the actual realm. This used to be the case, but it is no longer possible. Misfortune E will actually follow into the death realm, even if it is used first on Summoner's Rift. You can also use your ultimate as Mordekaiser to deny her ulti from hitting other people. Mordekaiser versus Mordekaiser will only really happen in normals, and there's no real unique interaction between the two of them anyway. Morgana's W zone will not follow Mordekaiser into the realm. Her black shield can also deny Mord his ulti as long as it's up. And her ulti tether will be broken if Mordekaiser ults her and she's linked to another enemy. Neferi's dogs will not follow her into the death realm. If she locks onto a target with her ultimate that isn't Mordekaiser and then Mordekaiser ults her, she will still dash to that target. Her W can also deny Mordekaiser ult. It won't place it on cooldown, but she won't be taken into the realm. You can dodge out the Nami bubble and the Nami ultimate if you time your Mordekaiser ult correctly. They won't enter the death realm if used first. Nasus E zone is quite unique. It won't follow into the realm, but if you sit on it when you use your ulti, it will actually still decrease your armor. But if you uses his E and you're not standing on it, even if you were to walk over the area where the zone still stands, you won't get the armor shred. Even if you ult Nautilus before his hook connects to a wall, he will still go to it. He can also still hook a champion even if you ulti him in the middle of the hook animation. You can also use your ult to dodge his ult. Mordekaiser cannot use his ultimate on Neeko if she's not actually transformed into a champion. If she's like a minion or a jungle monster, he simply can't ult her. If Mordekaiser tries to ult the Neeko clone, nothing happens. His ultimate just goes on cooldown. He can also use his ult to deny the Neeko AoE and save his team. Nidalee traps won't follow into the death realm. They will just stay on Summoner's Rift. Nilah ultimate will actually not follow into the death realm if Mordekaiser ults her mid-ulti animation, and instead will do the damage and the pull around herself in Summoner's Rift. So any ally of Mordekaiser's will still get hit by the Nilah ultimate if they're around her when she transports into the death realm. Mordekaiser cannot ult Nocturne if he's in the middle of his ult dash animation, and Nocturne's spell shield also completely stops Mord ult. Nunu will still be rolling his snowball even if he starts doing it outside the realm and then Mord ults him. His ultimate will also be fully carried over inside the ult, dealing no damage to anyone outside of it. If Olaf throws his Q and then you ult him, he won't actually be able to pick up the axe. Olaf ultimate can also be used to counter the Mord ult by pressing it first, and then if Mord tries to ult him, he won't be taken to the realm. But if Olaf tries to get out of the realm with his ultimate, he can't do it. Orianna ball is quite interesting. When Mordekaiser ults Orianna, the ball will instantly go back to her. This happens if the ball is on the ground or if it is attached to an ally of Orianna's. And even if you try to dodge out her ultimate this way, by being on the ball, then ulting her so that it jumps back to her, you will still get hit by the ultimate AoE. Ornn Pillar will not follow into the death realm. Mordekaiser can also use his ult to deny Ornn ultimate because it won't follow into the realm either. But Ornn can use his W to completely negate Mordekaiser's ult, making it go on cooldown. If Pantheon is channeling his ultimate and Mordekaiser ults him, it will completely stop. But Pantheon can just wait and actually activate his ultimate in the death realm, and there it will go off. If you ult Poppy and then she uses her ultimate on you, you're going to get knocked right on the very edge of your realm. If you use your ultimate on her just before she hits you with hers, she might send you flying a bit farther than your actual realm range, and you kind of get stuck a bit. Depending on when you use your ulti on Pyke, his E will either follow or not. If you use it before his Phantom actually starts to move, it will stun you. But if you wait for the Phantom to start moving and then you ult him, you won't get stunned. His ultimate will also follow inside the death realm and he can't execute anyone outside. If he also throws his hook and you ult him in the middle of the animation, he will actually still pull the target towards him. Mordekaiser can dodge out of the way of Qiyana ult by ulting her just before she hits the wall. Quinn has no unique ability interactions with Mordekaiser ultimate. If Rakan uses his W outside of the Mordekaiser ultimate, when Mord actually ults him, it will happen inside the death realm. Rammus can use his ultimate to completely deny the Mordekaiser one, placing it on cooldown. The actual zone that Rammus has on his ultimate won't follow into the death realm if Mordekaiser ults him after he lands. Rek'Sai tunnels will not follow into the death realm, and if Rek'Sai uses her tunnel just as you ult her, she won't stop in the middle of the tunnel creation, but instead will go all the way to the end of the tunnel, but the tunnel itself won't follow. She can also use her ultimate to completely deny the Mordekaiser one and place it on cooldown. Rel's W dismount will actually happen within the death realm even if it starts outside of it, and her ultimate will also be taken into the realm fully. Mordekaiser can ult Renata in the middle of her ulti animation and it will go completely into the realm. Renekton has no unique ability interactions with Mordekaiser ult. Rengar Empowered W cannot break you out of Mordekaiser ultimate. It used to be able to, but it no longer does that. Riven has no unique ability interactions with Mordekaiser ult. Rumble's ultimate will not follow into the death realm. Ryze's ultimate will go off no matter what. Even if he starts it outside the realm and then you ulti him, he will still get transported. Samira has no unique ability interactions with Mordult unless you want to count the fact that you can ult her to prevent her AoE ulti from murdering your team. If Sejuani stacks her E and can use it on a target, you can use your ultimate and within the realm she won't be able to actually activate it. Her ultimate AoE damage will also not follow within the death realm. Senna's Mist will actually follow her in the death realm even if she uses it first on Summoner's Rift. You can also activate your ult in the middle of Senna's ulti animation and the entire effect of Senna's ult will be taken in the death realm. If Seraphine activates her empowered W outside of the death realm and then you actually use your ultimate on her, the zone will only heal her and nobody around that is outside. You can also use your ultimate to dodge out the Seraphine Q and can even ult before her ulti hits to dodge out of the way as well. Seth can use his ultimate to dodge out Mordekaiser ultimate. Keiko boxes will not follow into the death realm, and if you ult his clone, it just goes on cooldown while doing nothing. Keiko can also use his ultimate to dodge out yours, but it won't place it on cooldown, it'll just make him not go into the realm. And if he actually activates his ultimate while he's in the realm, once the Mordekaiser ultimate expires, the Keiko clone vanishes immediately. You even instantly gain 25 gold after it, because it stays in the realm and it basically dies for the Keiko. Shen's W zone will actually follow him into the realm even if he uses it outside of it. Your ulti will also not cancel his and instead he will still be teleported but not to the target location. He's going to stop at the very edge of the realm. Shyvana's ulti can be used to cancel out Mordekaiser's ult, and her ulti E zone will not follow into the realm. Even though visually the zone of Singed W will not follow into the realm, you will still be affected by the slow and the grounding effect. Even if you don't initially stand on it, once you actually walk over to where it would be, you still get grounded and slowed. The worst part is that if you're not actually standing on top of it when he throws it out, there's not even an indicator to showcase the fact that you are being slowed and grounded. If you try to ult Sion while he's in a zombie form, it's just gonna waste your ult. You can't actually use your Mordekaiser ult on Sion when he's charging with his own ult. But there's also an interesting Q interaction. If Sion is charging up his Q and then you ulti him, once the charge is complete, you won't take any damage. This happens when you ulti him and he's charging from the Summoner's Rift, or if he starts charging his Q and then your ulti ends. However, there is also another interaction. If Sion charges up his Q and then you ulti him, that Q charge actually doesn't go to waste. It all happens on Summoner's Rift. So with the example on screen, Sion starts charging his Q, I then use my ultimate on him, his Q finishes, but the cannon still dies because he was on top of that zone. If Sivir throws her Q and Mordekaiser ults her in the middle of the Q, it won't return the damage onto Mord. Her spell shield will also completely block the Mordekaiser ultimate. You can actually force Skarner to drop the enemies that he has impaled with his ulti if you use your ultimate onto him. Everyone who is impaled will be instantly dropped. Molder ultimate will have no effect on him if he uses it on Summoner's Rift and then you ulti him into the realm. Sona has no unique ability interactions with Mordekaiser ultimate. Mordekaiser ult can be used to dodge out the Soraka Q, as well as the Soraka silence. And if you want to take Soraka into your ult, she will still heal absolutely everyone on her team with her ulti. Swain W will not follow into the Death Realm if used first on Summoner's Rift. The second part of his E will also not follow into the Death Realm, and if he actually grabs a champion and tries to pull them while he's in the Death Realm, the animation will happen, but he won't actually gain any souls from it. You can also ulti him and just run away from him to let his ult die out. If you actually use your ult on Sylas while he's in the middle of his E animation and he hits someone on Summoner's Rift, he actually won't be pulled towards them. You can also use your ult to not get hit by the second part of his Q. And you can even cancel out his hijack ability. His hijack won't go on cooldown, but he won't take the ultimate he wants to steal. If Syndra has orbs placed on the ground, they will not follow into the Death Realm. And if she has picked something up with her W, once you ult her, it will completely disappear from her. You can also use your ultimate in the middle of her ulti animation, and it will basically vanish her entire ultimate. Kench will instantly spit out anyone that he carries when you ulti him. It doesn't matter if it's an enemy or an ally. When Talia presses Q, she normally gets some worked ground, and if she recasts her Q again, she's gonna throw a big boulder, and if Mordekaiser takes her into the realm, the actual worked ground goes with her. You can also use your ultimate to dodge out her W, and her E-Rocks will not go with her. If Talia is using her ultimate and she's trying to get on top of the wall to escape, you can actually ulti her, and the wall won't follow. And if she just throws out the wall, you can use your ultimate and the wall itself will not follow into the realm. The return part of Talon's W will not enter the Death Realm if used first on Summoner's Rift. If Taric is linked to someone and Mordekaiser ults Taric, or the person that he's linked to with Taric W, the actual link gets broken and it has to be reapplied. Mordekaiser can also use his ultimate to deny the Taric ulti. He can use his ulti on him and the only person that will get the damage immunity will be Taric himself. However, Taric can wait until his ultimate is almost done, start charging up his ultimate from the realm, and by the time he's out of it, his AoE damage immunity will affect the allies that are nearby. Teemo Shrooms will not follow into the Death Realm. Rush Hook will still happen even if you ulti him during the animation itself, and then he will even be able to drag the opponent towards him. His ultimate box will also not carry inside the realm, even though visually it looks like it does. Rush Lantern will also instantly go back to him once he's placed into the Death Realm if it's thrown out. Tristana has no unique ability interactions with Mordekaiser ultimate. Both Trundle W and Trundle Pillar will not follow Mordekaiser into the realm if used outside of it. Tryndamere won't be able to use his W on anyone that isn't inside the Death Realm when he's taken. You won't cancel out the Twisted Fate teleportation with your ultimate, and he will stop at the very edge of your ulti. He can't go past it. Twitch will not be able to press his E on players outside of the Death Realm that are marked with his passive, and his W will also not follow into the Death Realm. Udyr's Awakened ultimate will not follow into the Death Realm if used first, and his Awakened E makes him immune to the Mordekaiser ultimate if he uses it during the CC immunity. Urgot won't be able to reactivate his ultimate on Mordekaiser even if he's on the kill threshold if Mordekaiser ults someone else. While he's inside the Death Realm, he simply cannot reactivate the ulti to kill him. Even if Varus casts his E first on Summoner's Rift and then you ult him, the zone will still follow, but visually it doesn't look like that. Vayne has no unique ability interactions with Mordekaiser ultimate. Veigar's Cage will not follow inside the Death Realm. The second part of Vel'Koz's W will not follow inside Mordekaiser's Death Realm. You can also use Mordekaiser ult to dodge out Vel'Koz's E, and you can ult Vel'Koz to make sure that his ultimate only hits you and no one else. Vex's E-Zone will not follow into the Death Realm if it is first used on Summoner's Rift, and Vex's ultimate when she's flying in the air cannot be ultied by Mordekaiser or else it will be completely cancelled and will not be taken into the realm. Vi can use her ultimate to dodge out the Mordekaiser ult completely, placing it on cooldown. Viego's Mist will follow into the Death Realm even if it is placed first. It doesn't matter if it hits a wall or if it is used on the ground. Either one follows. He can also use his own ultimate to dodge out the Mordekaiser ult and completely deny it. Victor's Augmented E that sends a second shockwave will not follow into Mordekaiser's realm. The second part of the ability just doesn't go off there. His W zone also doesn't follow in the realm, and the same goes for his ultimate. Vladimir can use his W to deny the Mordekaiser ultimate. It won't place it on cooldown, but he won't be taken into the realm. Volibear's E will not follow him into the realm if cast outside of it. And it also won't follow him if the realm expires, but he used his E within the realm. He can also use his ultimate to cancel yours. While holding Q, Warwick won't be able to be ultied by you, and he also can't be ultied by you if he's in the middle of his ult animation. If you ult the Wukong clone, your ulti will get cancelled. The feathers that Xayah has outside of the realm will not be carried over when Mordekaiser ults. She can also activate her ulti to deny the Mordekaiser ult, but this won't make it go on cooldown. Xerath W will not follow into the Death Realm if it is placed first on Summoner's Rift. You can also ult Xerath in the middle of his ultimate so that he can only hit you with his ultimate shots. And if you take him into the realm as he's shooting out his Q laser, the damage will fully happen within the Death Realm. Zin's thrust damage will be fully done within the Death Realm if you ulti him while he's in his W animation. Yasuo will not actually be able to ult a knocked up target while he's in the Death Realm, but you can also ult him in the middle of his ulti animation and it'll instantly snap the target out of the CC. Yone's E has a pretty unique interaction with Mordekaiser ulti. First off, if Yone uses E and then Mordekaiser ults him, he cannot activate it again to snap back. It is simply impossible. He has to wait for the ability to end and then he snaps back, even if the timer runs out. If he activates his E during the realm, he will still not be able to snap back. So he can activate his E during the realm, but he will not actually be able to reactivate the ability during the realm. And the last interaction that it has is that if Yone presses his E just before he gets ultied, he will snap back and completely deny the Mordekaiser ult, placing the ultimate on cooldown and not being taken. Yorick's Ghouls and W will not follow Mordekaiser into the realm if they are placed first, but the Maiden actually will. This is totally intended. Yunara's normal W will not go inside Mordekaiser's death realm. When you ult a target that Yuumi is attached to, she will instantly detach once you take them to the realm. And if Yuumi tries to jump on a target and you ult her while she's dashing to that target, she won't actually make it and will be taken into the death realm. Zack's blobs will not follow into the death realm when they are dropped. Even if Zed uses his shadow first and then Mordekaiser ults him, the shadow will actually follow into the realm, and it will act as a regular Zed shadow. He can also activate his ultimate to cancel out the Mordekaiser ult, but it won't go on cooldown when he does this. If Zeri uses her W on a wall and Mordekaiser ults her, the W will not follow into the realm. Ziggs E-Mines will not actually follow Mordekaiser into the Death Realm, and even though it looks like his W also doesn't follow into the Death Realm, he can actually activate it to push back Mordekaiser and push himself back if they're standing right on top of where the mine is supposed to be at on Summoner's Rift. Even though visually the bombs don't actually carry into the Death Realm, if Mordekaiser stands right on top of it when they detonate, they will actually damage him. They won't stun him if there's two right on top of each other, but both of them will still end up dealing the damage. If Zoe throws her bubble on Summoner's Rift, it won't follow into the Death Realm after Mordekaiser ults. And finally, Zyra plants and her ultimate will not follow into the Death Realm if they are placed first on Summoner's Rift. And with that, we have gone through every single champion. I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Even if you didn't watch it in full and just skipped to the champions that you wanted to watch, I don't mind. I'm just glad that you found a champion that you wanted to look at, and I hope I satisfied your curiosity for Mordekaiser ultimate interactions. I think my sanity has slipped away from me, but all things considered, I pulled through quite well. At least I'm glad I won't have to test a lot of things for a while. It's not like Riot gave Mordekaiser a big AD ratio on his Q and now might have to build some AD items that will need test. Oh. Well, I guess I need to test some more stuff then. I will test a lot of AD items on Mordekaiser, and I will even stream a lot of the testing phase. If you want to watch that, you can catch me at twitch.tv/federals123, and you can ask me live questions. I'm gonna try a ton of different items on him. I won't actually update the Mordekaiser guide for the next week and a half most likely, just because I'm going to test so many items. And once that's done, I will actually make a full in-depth video on what I think should be built for Mordekaiser from the Bruiser AD items that he has available to him. But so far I'm not 100% sure because I haven't really tested anything. Anyways, with all that being said, thank you all for joining me in this video. I hope you found the information useful, and I will see you in the next video, hopefully very soon.
favored by the gods and await